What is going on? It's Saturday, it's Labor Day weekend, and it's raining. But today's thought of the day is about change. How do you change the people around you? How do you change your life? How do you change the world? Well, I don't know. But here's what I do know. And it's the Serenity prayer. And it's by a guy named Reinhold Niebuhr. And it goes like this. He said, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And the question here is, what are the implications of that? Why is it important to possess the serenity, the courage, and the wisdom in these situations? Well, serenity. I think that in life, you and I are going to be faced with situations and circumstances that are not within our control. But if we can become at peace with the fact that we can't affect these things, then what that starts to do is it patterns our thoughts and actions and behaviors to navigate around them, as opposed to becoming a slave to them. Courage. Why is courage important? I think that among all the things that I talk about, among all the things that I read about, if there's one thing that you and I both need in order to make it today, it's courage. I think that there's a lot of people in the world today that are living unhappy lives, but they don't have the courage to do anything about it. And I think that's because there's a human tendency to prefer known hells over unknown heavens. I don't know why. Wisdom. Why is wisdom important? Your time, my time, it's limited. And if we can't differentiate between what we can control and what we can't control, then we're going to be spending a lot of time needlessly. We're going to be wasting a lot of our time. So then what you're saying, Mayar, is I can't change the people around me and I can't change my life and I can't change the world. Well, not necessarily. Consider this, okay? I went down to London a few months ago. And I went down to Westminster, and I did the whole tourist thing. You know, I saw Big Ben, I saw the London Eye, I saw the Parliamentary Building, and I saw the Westminster Abbey. And I went inside the Westminster Abbey, and I went to the crypts. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of people who were buried there. There's a lot of writing on the walls. But there was one thing that stood out to me while I was there. I came across this tomb of this 12th century like Anglican bishop or something like that. It was a really lavish, beautiful looking tomb, and I don't remember who was buried there, but I remember what was written in the marble next to the tomb. And it said this. It said, "When I was young and free, my imagination had no limits. I dreamed of changing the world. As I grew older and wiser, I discovered that the world would not change. So I shortened my sights somewhat, and I decided to change only my country, but it too seemed immovable. As I grew into my twilight years and one last desperate attempt, I settled for changing only my family, those closest to me. But alas, they would have none of it. And now, as I lie on my deathbed, I suddenly realized that if I had only changed myself first, then by example, I would have changed my family. From their inspiration and encouragement, I would have been able to better my country, and who knows, I may have even changed my world." And I think there's a lot of power in those words, because we all want to make a positive impact. But I don't think it starts with changing the world. I don't think it starts with changing our environment or the people around us. You know, before my dad died, he used to compose and sing and write his own music. And I was able to recover a lot of his things. And one of the lyrics in his songs, he cited Rumi. And Rumi was this 13th century Persian philosopher. And in his song, he said this. He said, "Yesterday, I was clever, and I tried to change the world. Today, I am wiser, and I try to change myself." I think if we want to change the people around us, I think that if we want to change our lives, I think that if we want to change the world, it starts with the person that you and I see in the mirror. That's all I got for now. Have a great weekend. I'll talk with you later.